We are crossing live to Absrod Oval, where the Scodfather will speak to the press.
I heard that he is in a grumpy mood.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now in today's episode we're going to go through the rest of the games. Okay, now we've done already all the Wednesday, Thursday and Friday games. Now we're going to cover the Saturday and Sunday games. Just coming down! Now before we start, this week's score 24-19. Now we have a season rank of 176. We have 175 players above us. That's from 175,000. Just coming down. Okay, we're getting there. However, I think the teams that are above us, even the teams that are below us, are actually better than us. So we have a lot of work to do. Our forward line is in absolute mess. Okay, and we have a lot of things to fix. So anyway. Let's have a look at this week's games. We go to the North Melbourne and Adelaide game, and this game, it was disaster. Okay, now, especially for people like myself that own a few of these North Melbourne players, or owned some of them. Okay, now, LDU 112, okay, that's, looks like he's getting better, okay, it couldn't get any worse. Sheasels, a 108, he only had 3 kick-ins this week. That's worrying. Okay, but it doesn't matter. He still scored 108. Okay, still scoring well. The problem was McKercher took 12 kick-ins. Okay, 12, and Sheasels only took 3. Yeah, that's a problem. We traded out McKercher at 300k. He was going to drop to 200k. But now he's back at 250k and very low break even. Now what do we do with him? Okay, now do we get him back? Well, we would, okay, but we can't trust the coach because where is he? Zach Fisher came back on, okay, because he was a sub. When he came back on in the last quarter, came on a bit more, probably halfway through the third quarter. He had 3 kick-ins, so he's going to be sharing the kick-ins between McKercher and Zach Fisher, and probably Sheasels not going to get as many kick-ins. So what this could possibly mean now is that Zach Fisher could be, again, Supercoach relevant. However, I don't trust this, okay? Now, Zach Fisher had 10 touches in that 37% time on ground. That's not bad, okay? Now, Zach Fisher is not good. He's the fish, okay? However, if the fish drops, let's see how far he can drop. Well, we've got 2 weeks to check him out, okay? If in round 8 he scores a 90, and in round 9 he scores a 90 and starts getting all these kick-ins, he'll be 350k. It's something that we can consider. However, at the moment, I'm not interested at all, okay? But we'll have a look at him. Now, we go to Sherry, scoring that 103. Now, that's not bad, okay? However, and he had a tough opponent, pretty much one of the toughest ones you can face, especially physically. But he did well. Although his tackles are only 4 tackles. So Riley O'Brien, what did Riley O'Brien do? Where's Riley O'Brien here? Let's have a look. Well, Riley O'Brien scored a 77. We had 37 hitouts. Sherry had 32, so it's not bad. Sherry kept up with ROB. Okay, Sherry's actually a good ruckman. Unfortunately, we may have to trade him out this week because there's a Port Adelaide young boy is on the bubble, 123k, and I think there's no way for me to get him except via Sherry. So we'll see what happens. Now, let's go further down. Okay, we talked about McKercher. 23 kicks, 12 of those kicks were kick-ins. So virtually, he got bonus points. Only scored 102, which is surprising considering 12 kick-ins. 12 kick-ins is like 48 points. So he only got 50 points for the rest of the game. That's not actually promising. Okay, that's actually pretty bad. Anyway, let's go further down. Because keep in mind, Adelaide kicked 20 goals, 18. Okay, not many teams kick 18 behinds. The one that is the problem for some is Comben. Okay, he scored a 61. You paid 200k for this player, hoping he'd go at least 80s or 90s. He's not doing it. Okay, so only went 61. We go further down. Okay, Drury scored. He was on a bubble. Scored a 50. He's going to be a really bad cash cow. Okay, he's a no good. Tom Powell scored a 49. Only had 10 touches for the whole game. Keep in mind, the Fish had 10 touches in 37% game time. Powell also had a goal in his score of 49, and he got 24 points. He was on 24 points in the first 10 minutes, probably the first 5 minutes. So he scored 25 points for the rest of the game. Virtually, if he'd kicked that goal, he'd be on, say, 30 points. That's pretty bad, okay? Tom Powell has a problem. However, Phillips was the midfielder that replaced Tom Powell. Phillips, for 3/4 of the game, or even half the game, had 3 kicks and 5 handballs. That's not much. 1 tackle, okay? He was pretty much not even there, okay? So I'd say Phillips will get dropped. Lazaro didn't do much in the midfield, okay? So I'd say Powell has got that job back next week. I'm going to hold Powell. He was averaging 90. There's no point trading him out. So I'm going to hold him. Now, let's move over to Adelaide now. Rory Laird, 149, 13 kicks, 21 handballs. This is the old Rory Laird back, okay? 73% time on ground. That's quite high for him. He's been 60s lately, so 73% is not bad. I liked what I saw with Rory Laird. I'm going to actually consider bringing him in next week. He's going to be on my list of recruits. He's 100k cheaper than starting price. Dawson also looking good. Scored the 127, the 24 kicks and 3 handballs. Now, Laird's 21 handballs is appealing to me because a lot of these are hardball gets, contested possessions. You can see here, 20 contested possessions, 13 clearances. He's a scoring machine. The old Laird could be back. I'm very, very, very interested. And plus he has a round 15 bye, which is the best bye possible. Rankin scored a 113 but kicked 4 goals. Okay, now that's not good. It is good that he kicked 4 goals. He scored 113, but it is no good because his midfield time wasn't there this week. Okay, or last round. Now, going further down, is there anyone else? Well, Matt Crouch, 85. He's been very disappointing. Okay, 6 kicks, 18 handballs, 72% time on ground, 12 contested possessions. Virtually the same role as Laird, but Laird's doing it much better. Okay, now this is actually disappointing. I'm still holding him now because he's holding weight in my midfield, but he's ready to be let go soon. Okay, two more bad weeks like this, and I'm going to let him go. Okay, he's a Gonski. Now, at Adelaide, going further down. That's pretty much it. There's nobody else of interest here. Rochelli's not there this year, 73. Yeah, that was it for this game. And Hamill was a question mark. Scored a 36. Not enough for a rookie, okay. Now, we go to the Geelong and Carlton game. Now, at the Cats, Jeremy Cameron, he's one of those players that'd be good to have as a spare, which I did last year and it backfired, okay, but he'll have these 120s and have these 50s, so it's a player that you want to have on the bench and bring him on, except when I have him it doesn't work, okay, but it could work one day. Now, Holmes had a good game. I saw somebody actually bring Holmes in and I said don't do it. Not a good time to bring in Holmes. He's not a Jet. He is a Jet, but not for Supercoach. So especially with Stewart missing, Holmes probably had a bit more touches. Now Braun, I like if he had forward eligibility. Only got the mid eligibility, so unfortunately Braun is a not good for us because we want the best of the best now. We don't want these players. We want players that can go 130s, 140s now in that midfield. So Braun is not it. Now, let's go further down, and Danger's out, okay, which is interesting because with Danger out now, it's going to bring back some extra midfielders like the one like Clark. He may come back now, okay. He may score his 10s again for us. Just coming down. Anyway, so Danger's out. Cam Guthrie scored an 82. It's not bad. He had 104 fantasy points. And it says here, what does it say here? Started on a half-back flank, switched to mids, quarter free to cover Dangerfield's injury. So we're not sure where Cam Guthrie's going to play, okay? So possibly, I don't know. Switch to the midfield. Why would he start half-back flank? Interesting. Anyway, keep an eye on Cam Guthrie, but I'm not sure that I'm interested in Cam Guthrie. Oliver Dempsey, another poor week, 49. If you haven't already let him go, I think it's time. He's going to leak cash so bad now. He scored virtually that 49. I think 35 of those was in the first quarter. He didn't turn up the rest of the three quarters. So Oliver Dempsey looking to score 100 the way he started, and then it just faded out. And that's pretty much it for Geelong. There's not much Supercoach relevant players here. Now, at Carlton, we have Sam Walsh. Actually, Patrick Cripps, another 116. He's turning back the clock this year. Cripps, back to his best almost. Now, Sam Walsh, a 104. Now, 31 touches, he went at 58%. If he went, say, at 70%, that 104 is a 130. So Sam Walsh's game is very good, very Supercoach relevant. 12 contested possessions, it's not bad, okay? It's not a lot. It's not actually not a lot. 7 tackles, that's not bad. Really liking Sam Walsh's role. And Zach Williams scored a 78. Did a couple of things that the coach is not going to be happy with. I'm not sure if Zach Williams is going to be in a team or is going to be spoken to harshly next week. But I don't think the coach liked what he saw of Zach Williams. He didn't. Supercoach-wise, he was okay, but he did some bad things on the ground. Fell down, acting for a free kick, and the opposition got a goal out of it. I mean, you don't do that as a defender. You're not playing for the Academy Awards, just coming down. Anyway, Zach Williams, even a 78, that's not enough. We now need our defenders, especially like we're around 8 now. We need scores of 90s in that minimum 90s in defence. So Williams is not the cure now. Time to cash out on him now, and that's pretty much it at Carlton. We now go to the Freo Dockers and the Bulldogs. Now, for the Dogs, this would have been a disappointing game. I mean, West Coast beat Freo. Okay, so you expect the Dogs to show a bit more fight, okay, but it didn't happen. Freo, they were switched on. Caleb Sarong, a 140, back to his best. And I knew it was going to come because once Sean Darcy's in the team, Caleb Sarong is going to be a jet, okay, and it showed. And that, which then, in turn, Nat Fife became a good player as well. Thank you to Darcy. So Sarong 140, Nat Fife 119. Now, is it too late to bring in Nat Fife? I remember 3 weeks ago I was talking about Nat Fife, and I say at 300k we should consider him. Now, I didn't get him. Okay, I wish I did. I didn't get him, but I think it's too late. Okay, how do you get him? The grandpa, I don't know. If he continues going like this, we're going to have to get him. Okay, now he's over 400k. I'm happy to pay 500k for him now if he's going to be this good. Okay, so I'll just keep watching him. He's going to have off games as well. Plays Richmond this week, who have no midfield, so should go nuts again. Break even is 30. He's going to go up in price. People that own him are going to be so happy. The non-owners like me are just going to suffer and watch. Okay, it's painful. Now, Luke Ryan scored a 106, which is quite surprising. He was wasn't scoring much. Good thing about Luke Ryan is that 94% disposal efficiency. Okay, he didn't get many touches, only 17 kicks and 2 handballs, but plus 5 tackles. It's just at 94%. He's always at that 100 range. He's a jet, okay, this boy. Now, this week it was Jordan Clark's turn not to score. Scored at 83. He's not a primo. A lot of people were questioning whether he is or not, but he's not. Now, Hayden Young scored a 94, had a decent game, including a goal. So, probably not a score that you'd want to have, but it's good enough. So, it's a pass on that 94. Going further down, Chapman it played his first game, scored a 66. It's not good enough, so probably a pass. But Voss, the rookie, and Simpson, both of them, 59 and 57. Especially Simpson, only had 58% time on ground. He looks really good. Okay, so did Voss, but Simpson more electric. Okay, so I really liked Simpson's game. Now, going further down, Sharp, 44. Okay, it's time to let him go. He should be out the door by now. If he wasn't already out the door, he has to go now. And Josh Draper got a hamstring, so scored 11. Some people had to field him because there was no Stewart, so they pre-copped it bad. They almost copped a donut. I mean, Stewart was missing, then they have to put Draper on, and he scores at 11, so that's bad. But anyway, and with Draper now gone, this may affect, Luke Ryan for a couple of weeks now. So maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, Luke Ryan's scores may be similar to this 106 score. So we'll see how it goes. Because Draper only had 16% time on ground, so Ryan had to cover for Draper. And you can see he didn't really have the role that he likes. Now, going to the Dogs, Tim English is a problem for some people this week because they don't know what to do with him. Because if they got Gordon English, and then you got the Port Adelaide Sweet popping up and scoring a 130 odd, what do you do with English? Okay, now that's a question on a lot of people's mind, and English is actually well priced as well. Do you get rid of English? Well, I'm glad I don't have to decide. It's not a problem. I've got Sherry, so for me it's easy. Sherry's out because I've also got Naismith. But if I had English, I wouldn't know what to do. Okay, it's a tough choice now. Now, Dale scoring a 132, it's good. Kicked 2 goals in that as well. Okay, so take the 2 goals out. It's about a 110. It's still good. However, you have to keep in mind that Ed Richards played in the midfield. Next week, we're going to have Ed Richards playing in defence next to Dale. So they're going to share these points now. It's going to be very similar to Wangani Milera, Dale's role. So Dale's going to be more of a 70s, 80s, 120s type of guy. Okay, so he's not going to be a top 6. So they get too excited with his last 2 scores. The Bont is letting us all down. 102, it's so disappointing. Okay, 700k player. He turned to a spud this year. It's very bad. Now, going further down, Sam Darcy, he scored an 88. That's brilliant, okay, except kicked 3 goals. I had him on the bench, okay. I didn't get these points. Instead, I got Riley Garcia's points, 64, okay, because I prefer 64 points. Why would I want to have 88 when I have 64? So I took Riley Garcia. Now, Riley Garcia, job security looks shaky, okay. However, Waitman now is out. Plus, they have a suspension now, and Riley West is suspended for a week. So Garcia may hold his spot at least for another week to prove himself, and probably gets full game time as well. So we'll see how he goes. And Jack McRae scored a 79, 18 disposals, 5 contested possessions. It's not enough. Okay, that's disappointing, really bad. It's not what I paid for, okay? At least 90 plus minimum is what I wanted from McRae. 79 doesn't cut it. I mean, in fantasy got 90, but not in Supercoach. But at least we'll get to see him another week. I think with Libba back, he might be better, okay? See how it goes. With Ed Richards in the team, it wasn't... You can see Ed Richards probably wasn't getting the hard ball. Ed Richards only had 7 contested possessions. If that was Libba in there, he'd have 20, okay? So, and when Libba gets those contested possessions, he has to dish them off, okay? And usually, he gives them to his mates. Bond gets them, and so does McRae. So, Libba back in the team may actually boost Bont and boost McRae. So we'll see how that goes. And going further down, Bramble is a no good. Harms is a no good. Okay, now Harms at the start of the year, people were interested, but he's no good. Carmus, time to let him go soon. Almost immediately soon. I'm stuck with him for another week, so probably going to cop a 10k loss this week. He break even 58. If he scores another 45, I'll lose about 5 or 6k. Okay, it's just what I have to do, lose 5 6k. And that's pretty much it for the Dogs. We now go to the Gold Coast and the West Coast game. Now, at Gold Coast, Jared Witts showed what you should be scoring against the West Coast Ruckman. He dominated, 155. Everyone else has struggled against West Coast Ruckman. I can't work it out, but Jared Witts showed what should be done. Okay, went for 155. Noah Anderson, 151. Noah Anderson last week had a shocker. This week, 151. Last week he got tagged, maybe. I think that's what it was. So we'll see how it goes. How it goes next week against stronger opposition. Took Miller 149, similar to Anderson. Struggled last week. This week was a gun. Whereas Matt Rowell scores these 125s every week. Okay, now Matt Rowell has now become the number one midfielder in the comp. Okay, Supercoach wise. Let me show you. Now, if you go to averages, okay, and you type in midfielders. Now, he is at the top, but he is a forward, so we don't put him in our midfields. Walsh is at the top, but he's only played 3 games. So we're calculating this on 7 games. Matt Rowell on 7 games is averaging 131. Okay, he's the leader right now. Caleb Sarong is coming second at 128. Zach Merritt is third. Zach Butters is fourth. Tom Green is fifth. Took Miller 6th. Elliot Yeo just coming down. Okay, but Elliot Yeo's, we put him in the in the defenders. But Elliot Yeo, what a year. Now Marcus Bontempelli is in the top 10. Okay, he's actually in the top 8, just in the top 8. And Jack Steele's dropping down now. Now if we go to defenders, Luke Ryan and Sheasels are the best too. Elliot Yeo is third best defender right now, followed by Houston, Dacos, and Nick Martin. Work that one out. That's your top 6, okay? I'm actually missing Houston, but I've got Jeremy McGovern at number 8. So I've actually got the top 6, okay? Except I don't have Houston, and I've got McGovern, which I'm going to switch on McGovern's buy round to Houston. And Lockie Whitfield coming at 7th. So it's a very tight comp at there. I'd say that's your top 8 locked up. Okay, I can't see anyone else. Maybe we can see Tom Stewart get in there above McGovern later on. But Tom Stewart averaging 97, but he did have an injury last week, so that sort of shattered his average. Now getting back to Gold Coast, Sam Flanders, 105, only had 22 touches. This was the game I was expecting from Flanders, which is why I didn't rush to get him, because I knew, even though 105 is a good score, he was priced at around that 105 mark, so there's no rush to get him, because against West Coast, I didn't think he'd have much action, which he didn't. Only 22 touches. But Flanders is the second best forward in our team, so hopefully I'll get him this week. And pretty much, Jake Rogers scored a 98. Now, we have problem. If you don't have a boost this week, you can't bring in a lot of these players, and I'm going to have to miss out on Jake Rogers. I'm going to have to miss out on McKercher. I can't get him in. So I might have to pay 200k for Rogers next week if I really like what I see. So, because if Rogers can get forward DPP, which I think he will, he might come in as a handy forward for us. So I might have a look at him one more time. If he's good next week, I'll get him next week. Because in round 12, I can push him into the forward line. So I'll see how that goes. Now, Will Graham, 87. What a rookie, okay? He could actually, one of the best rookies we got this year. Graham, Roberts, these are good rookies. And even, where is he? Colossi or Messi, scored a 65. Problem with Messi was he copped a knock. I don't know how bad it was, but it could be rested. We don't know, so we're going to find out. If he gets rested this week, you should have Graham has your cover anyway, so you should be okay. Now, also McAndrew this week only scored a 71, and that was my fear with McAndrew. 3 100s back to back, and then a 71. So it was just a bit scary to get him in. It was a gamble. Now you go to West Coast. There's not many places to talk about at West Coast, but Elliot Yeo, 138, 18 contested possessions, 8 tackles, just a jet. He's top 8 mid this year. Top 8, top 3 defender. That's unbelievable. Okay, Elliot Yeo. And Jeremy McGovern, he scored an 89. It wasn't a good game for McGovern, simply because he lost his partner in crime that got suspended. I forgot his name, but he got suspended. So he didn't have that centre-half back role. He was more of a full-back. Tom Cole had that centre-half back role that McGovern usually has, and Tom Cole scored an 85. So you can imagine if McGovern was there, he would have done much better. So unfortunately, McGovern lost that role this week. And that's pretty much it for West Coast. They don't have many players that are Supercoach relevant. Now we go to the Hawks game, and this boy here, Dylan Moore, 136. He's now in 7 games. He's scored 4 scores above 90 and 3 scores below 70. Okay, so he's very up and down. But when he's up, he's up. So he's got a half forward role, has about 15% CBAs, so not much CBAs. But that half forward role is very dynamic. He plays it probably the best I've seen someone play a half forward role. So he could be a player to watch, but he's just going to be inconsistent every week. So you're not going to get these kind of scores all the time. But he did look dynamic. Lloyd Meek played well against the Grundy. Actually, I think you could almost say, Supercoach-wise, he beat Grundy, okay? And that's not very hard to do these days. But Meek had a good game. But I know a lot of Meek's owners will now sell him or trade him out and bring in the Port Adelaide boy. Sick Dog scored a 105. He's just not... Those big scores last year, 170s, 160s, they're not there now, okay? So Sick Dog is very sick right now, okay? So he's not good. Now, going further down... Amon, pre-season, we hyped him up, okay, the hype was fake, okay, it was not good. Now, Joy Newcomb, 2 tackles. Up until 3/4 time, he had no tackles. How does a midfielder, the main midfielder in your team, have no tackles for 3 quarters? Finally laid 2 tackles in the last quarter, unbelievable, okay, he's actually a spud. I can actually call him a spud. He's not good. Will Day scored a 67. Keep an eye on him, okay? Because we want to see a few low scores, and then he could be that M9 in our teams that we might want to have later on. And pretty much at Hawthorn, that's about it. There's no one else of interest here. Ramsden was the sub, scored 6. Okay, this is not good. Now, going to Sydney, and have a look here. Now, Florence is not relevant, but Isaac Heaney, another 120. Okay, 3 goals, just a jet. Midfield minutes are still there. Okay, still getting that midfield time. Although this score's not much, considering 3 goals, 21 touches. It's probably a bad game for him, the 120, but it's a good go. It's a good score. Going further down. And at Sydney, is there anyone of interest? Well, Grundy, 83. Matt Roberts, an 80. Okay, so still scoring those points. Should still hold. Break-even is about 30 now. So still going to make some cash. But he's coming towards the end of his cash making very soon. So you have to decide now, are we going to keep him or get rid of him? Jordan, no one should have him by now. Taylor Adams, 68. Showing that he's actually not worthy of our teams, and that's disappointing because we were excited to get him, but he's not good. And that's pretty much it for this game. Now we go to the leagues, okay, and Supercoach of DR's league, we had a small victory over JB from Dr. Supercoach. In the Scodfather Cup number 1, Jason, the Dreamers over, just coming down. Now, my good mate here, Grant from Whaley Good, unfortunately for him, he copped Abs Magic this week. Now, we'll go to Scodfather Legends later on. Have a look at all the Legends games there. Now, we go to Scodfather Cup 3. Jim, the Professor. Okay, now, he had a shocker, 21.90. He possibly has some good players out there, poor young man. Okay, so, sorry to hear about this, Jim. 21.90, what's going on? Now, we go to, Scodfather Cup number 5, Chris's Scots. Okay, now Stan had a good score, 23.43, very unlucky. Okay, and Scodfather Cup 5, Abs Magic undefeated, 6 wins and no losses and no draws. Now, we go to Scodfather Cup number 6, and the Meatloaf Mashers, that's Michael, a good friend of mine on Twitter. Now, had a good game as well, 23-12, unfortunately for Michael. We had that 100-point win. I think he had one of his players let him down badly, and that was the costly one. And the same thing happened with the Flag Hawks. That's Josh's team. Also had a good score. Now we go to Scodfather Legends, and we go to our matchups. Okay, now this week we had a game against Selby, the Danger Man. Okay, and we were able to calm the Danger Man down because he had the Sharp at 44 that let him down, Steele let him down, Zach Williams had a few, the Horny Man. Anyway, so we're happy to have a win any time against Selby. He's very hard man to beat. Now, in other games this week, Dan Batten having a great year, okay, and so is Damon Jackson. From Supercoach Edge, but this week Dan Batten had the honours. Now, in a close game here, Supercoach of the year will be very upset. My boy here, Mick from Horses to Courses, he had a 3-point victory, and he's a very happy boy now. Now, we went through our score. Now, we go here, Januff had a good win over Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell not having his best year this year, so hopefully things can go up for him. We go to Dave Swizz. Had a good score considering he had Libba out, so he did really well. And Supercoach Insiders, that's Ben's team. Last week he smashed our team, but this week he had a defeat against Swizz. Now, Tim Mitchell had a win over JD. Okay, both had good scores. The Mini Monk had a good score and beat Smoking Joe, okay, 22-79 to 23-38. And George Terrors, they went nuts, okay, 24-48. And JP, the poor man, he scored a 24-36 and still lost. Unbelievable. Now, he'd be very upset now, JP. You'd think he would have beaten anyone except for George Terrors, okay? Anyone else he would have beaten him? Well, yeah. Now, next up, we have my boy here, Stephen, not having a good year as well, 22-29, and Pistol from Dr. Supercoach, looks like he's back, okay, and scored a 24-04, and we had Al Payton, 22-16, not his best score, considering how good of a year he's having, but defeating MJ from Coach's Panel, 21-73. Now, we go to the ladder. And Al Payton still on top, 6 wins, 1 loss. Okay, he's killing it right now. Top 4 is made up of Abs Magic, okay, Januff and Dan Batten, the 2 Herald Sun boys in the top 4. Now we go to our group, the Scodfather group, and league ranking number 3 now. And at the top, we have the top 6 players. We have 3 of them. Okay, Lewis ranked number 1. He was ranked 9 last week. He flew to number 1. We got Victor still flying, ranked number 3. Only like 16 points separate the top 3. And next up we have Joe. It's now or never. Okay, he's ranked number 6. The 3 of them are going nuts. Not far behind, we have Stephen the Dinherlings. Okay, and 2509. Okay, he's jumped up 114 spots, up to 22 ranking. And bringing Sexton back, that's James's team, ranked 32. Now, these are high rankings. Vessel, the Alien Adventures, 35. We have Amit, the Slobs, a massive score, 25-10. Now ranked 41. Had a huge jump this week. And he's got a very good team, and he's a gun player, so he's one to watch. He's actually the danger man. Okay, now Mike Hussey. Okay, now work this out. 24.98. Also had a huge jump up to 47. Now we have Cesar from Fenerbahce. Okay, this is the Turkish team. Turkish. If you don't know Fenerbahce, it's a Turkish football team. Okay, Fenerbahce. Now Cesar up to 53. The Turk is flying. Now we have here Sava's Superboot. Okay, Sava's Superboot. That's Jamie's team, ranked 61. We have the Golden Era. That's Zach's team, ranked 70. We have Dogley, that's Ethan's team, 71. These are huge rankings. We've got 12 teams in the top 70 right now. Nathan's team, Nata Dollars, okay, ranked 92. And the Maltese Falcons, that's Charlie's teams. The man that loves the putt-sits is just coming down. Okay, now he's ranked 95. As well as Silver Top Hurley, if you know him from Twitter, also ranked 95. They're killing it right now. Now, my ranking, I mean, you would think ranked 176 in my own little group here, I'd be up in the top 10 or something. No, I'm ranked 27th. I can't believe this. Now, let's have a look at the top 10 scores this week. Who were the top 10? Let's give a shout out to all of them. Horses and Boards, okay, that's Scott's team, had the highest score, 25.40. Just Harry, that's Harrison's team, 25.38. Now we got Just Harry is up to the top 600 and 650. A good boy. Now, Primetime Parents, okay, or Parente, Primetime Parente, that's Joe's team, and scored a 25.30. There's a big score, 25.36. Lucifer's Laundry, that's Luke's team, 25.34. He jumped to the top 166. He's ahead of me now. Now, the Jack of Spuds, that's Simon's team. Scored a 25.26. He's ranked 100,000. How did you do this? Okay, let's check your team out. How are you ranked 25,000? What's going on? That's impossible. Ranked 100,000. What's going on here? Let's have a look. Well, his team looks good. Okay, Zach Reed's missing. You got Roberts. So how are you ranked so bad? Unless you started late. That's the only possible reason I'm giving. You started late. That's why your rank is so low. Otherwise, there's no way you're ranked that bad. Your team's good. Now, where are we up to? Okay, that was Jack of Spuds. The Ball Hogs, that's Brent's team. Now ranked 786. Duanio is ranked 154. We have some guns in our group. Actually, this group should be called the professional group, not the Scodfather group. Just coming down. Okay, now we have the Reg Grundys. That's Justin's team, also in the top 700. We not far behind. Alpha Dog scored a 25.12. We have the Slobs, that's Amit's team, the 25-10, which gave him a top 41 ranking this week. He had a massive game. We now go to my team, and the Spuds, they failed this week. Now, we missed points, okay? Let's work out how many points we missed this week. And I know everyone misses points, okay? It's normal, okay? But I just want to calculate how much I missed. Now, we didn't get Graham's score, but we got Wilson's. But we could have switched Wilson and Garcia around, all right? So we could have got Graham's 87. Less than 40. So 87 less 40, that's 47 points. Plus, we didn't get Garcia's 88, but we got Garcia's. So we didn't get Darcy's 88, but we got Garcia's 64. That's another 24 points, plus 24. That equals 71. Now, that doesn't sound like much, 71 points, okay? But when you go to rankings, all right, let's go to our team. Our score is 15,065. Plus 15,065 equals 15,136. Okay, now let's go to Classic. 15,136 rankings. Where is 15,136 ranked? 15,136. That's ranked 71st. All we had to do was get two of our rookies right, and we're ranked 71st this week. That's a difference. That's an extra 100 ranking. I'm ranked 175. I could have been ranked 71. All I had to do was just do some smart coaching. But no, the coaches are dumb, just coming down. Now, players that let us down this week, with the primos, pretty much most of them performed, okay? When you say a 102 is a performance, well, they performed, although it's not a performance. Crouch let us down. McGovern let us down, but we were sort of expecting that with McGovern because he was going to play fullback this week. The fullback got reported, so he lost his role at centre-half back. So I don't mind a 90 from... Actually, I was very happy to get a 90 from McGovern at fullback. McRae let us down badly, and Powell let us down. These three, I can't blame them because I had choices to get the 88s, and I didn't. Instead, I chose the 40s. So I blame myself for this, okay? Powell... hopefully next week he improves, gets back that midfield role. We're going to hold him. We're not going to trade him out, okay? We're going to keep him. We're going to show the faith in our players because at Abs Magic, we show faith. Actually, we don't, but anyway, it just sounds good anyway if we do. We have come to the end of the episode, and tomorrow I'll bring out all my changes to my team because I sort of know what I want to do. I wish I really had a boost this week. It would have been so handy. But it doesn't matter, okay, because we don't have one. We can't cry over spilt milk. Okay? We used them all up, okay? So we're gonna have no boost. But if we had the boost, so handy next week. Anyway, it's not gonna happen. That's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing: it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.